What do K-pop demon hunters, public health professionals, and military spouses have in common? An intriguing question, right? If you have not seen K-pop Demon Hunters, it is a very popular animated Netflix film about K-pop superstars who perform in the spotlight. They sing amazingly memorable songs. I find myself belting out songs in the car, and which won an Grammy earlier this month, and the movie itself was nominated for an Oscar. The main storyline is behind the scenes. These three superstars are demon hunters. They fight the hidden demons to protect their fans and the threats that most people never ever see. And when they do it well, the world is saved and nothing happens. The world keeps spinning because someone kept it safe. No headlines, no applause, no thank yous. The fans have no clue that these K-pop superstars were keeping them safe by engaging in these invisible fights while battling their identity and their place in the world. As I watched this movie with my daughter, Angel, this movie resonated with me because as a public health professional and also as an active duty military spouse, I too was engaged in this constant invisible fight while trying to hold on to my own identity and a sense of value to the world. The questions that I find myself keep on asking, how do you embrace all of your identities when very nature of your contribution means no one sees what you carry? How do you overcome imposter syndrome when your work is invisible and unrecognized? And for me, this invisible fight and identity questioning did not start with my job title or my passion and dedication to public health. It started much, much earlier, before I had a language for it. I remember in 3rd grade, it was my birthday, and my mom packed me a special lunch as a surprise. It was one of my favorites, kimbap. My mom woke up very early that morning to make me this delicious lunch, rice, seaweed, seasoned with vegetables, meat, all rolled in seaweed, sliced into bite-sized pieces that are absolutely delicious. I opened that lunchbox in a cafeteria full of elementary school kids eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches. A loud 4th grader walked by and shouted, "Ew, what are you eating? What's that black stuff?" Then the other kids ran over. Suddenly, I had an audience. I said, oh, it's just seaweed. It's just lunch. All the kids stepped back and yelled, "Gross, ew, seaweed?" Other kids stared. Some laughed. So I did what a 3rd grader would do when she wanted to survive at that moment. I smiled, but embarrassed and very angry inside, I closed the lunchbox and decided that I would never, ever bring kimbap again, only peanut butter jelly sandwich. I made a decision to hide part of myself so the room feels more comfortable. Not because I didn't belong there, but because I learned that belonging sometimes requires editing. This feeling carried into adulthood. I purposely softened my Korean identity. I ate American food, dressed in expected corporate attire, and decided to take my husband's last name to smooth out the edges, to be less noticeable. Because standing out had meant being laughed at and questioned. And invisible work paired with visible difference can feel too much. So you shrink. I remember my first day, I introduced myself in a room full of senior leaders as the new state epidemiologist. I stood up and smiled and said, "Good morning. I am Dr. Love, looking forward to working with all of you. And the room did that quiet, polite, confused blank. After the meeting, I felt amazing to start my dream job, what I went to school for, what I trained for, and someone walked up to me and leaned in like they're about to share a classified secret. This was my first professional interaction with a colleague, so I was so excited to hear what the question they had for me. Then he asked me, "Are you related to Connie Chung?" Well, I get that question more than you think, and it always makes me laugh and pause since she was the first Asian American to anchor a major news network. I admired her, but what people were really asking is something deeper. Who are you, and do you belong in this room? Deep inside, I am asking myself, am I the right person for this position? Am I in the right room? Am I enough? Do I know enough? Am I an imposter? When I work in public health, I got used to being invisible. I got used to doing the work that protects people who would never, ever know my name. I got used to fighting in the background. I learned how to carry the responsibility quietly so the communities can keep living their lives safely. Back in 2009, when H1N1 pandemic hit, most people had no idea what an epidemiologist did. Let's fast forward 2020. They became incredibly visible part of our society due to COVID-19 pandemic. The failure to recognize these important roles pre-2020 speaks to the quality of the work they've been doing. Because when public health professionals do their job well, there's no need for them to be visible. That was the job. And the role fit me like a glove. I was responsible for nearly 1 million people. I share that number not to impress you, but to tell you that the burden for public health professional is real. Every data point is a person, a life, someone I felt responsible for protecting. My heart and my head always felt very, very heavy doing my public health job. Then I had to put my career on hold. My active duty military husband received PCS orders, permanent change of duty station. PCS orders mean that your life gets packed into boxes on a timeline you did not choose. Your career becomes negotiable, and your identity becomes just military spouse. We arrived in Spangdahlem, Germany. It's a beautiful mountain town that you would see in a postcard. I kept on telling myself, Ashley, this is an adventure. Seize the moment. You're in Europe. However, the deep truth was I was deeply depressed. When you spend your whole life building towards your profession, and all of a sudden you have to leave it unexpectedly, not on your timeline, you leave part of yourself behind. However, the invisible work does not stop. My husband's career moved, mine actually paused. Military life is full of invisible labor. New forms, unpacking, new schools, new doctors, new maps, new people. And if there's deployment, that is something else. You swallow your fear. The military members receive medals, recognition, promotion, and applause. Military spouses receive silence. And if you were once the state epidemiologist responsible for almost 1 million people, and now you're unpacking for the 1,000th time, looking for another job, now in a new country where I didn't speak the language, a quiet question creeps in. Am I still who I thought I was? And the imposter syndrome loves transition. It thrives in reinvention. Over and over, I began to notice a pattern. I am engaged in an invisible fight for a bigger purpose. In public health, invisibility is part of our job. Military spouse life, invisibility is part of our culture. One thought that kept on going all these years that was of resilience. And nothing is more resilient than our immune system. Your immune system works quietly. It protects you while you're sleeping. It prevents disasters that you never, ever thought were coming. Most days, you do not even think about your immune system. How many of you thought about your immune system today? Probably no one. Invisible fighters are the same. Public health professionals are often asked to be the immune system of society. Military spouses are often immune system of military life. We adjust, we stabilize, we recover, and we rebuild. And we do it again and again. So back to the question, what do K-pop demon hunters, public health professionals, and military spouses have in common? We fight the battles most people have never, ever seen. And when we do it well, nothing happens. World goes on. As I'm watching K-pop demon hunters with my daughter, Angel, she looked at me and said, "Mom, do I have to pick one part of who I am?" Automatically, I find myself back in 3rd grade, kimbap in my lunchbox, kids yelling, "Ew," and me closing the lid and peanut butter jelly sandwich felt so much safer. However, I looked at her and courageously said, "No, you get to be all of you." And that's the lesson. Invisible work is noble. We need to fight and serve. But belonging should not require self-editing. Yes, keep protecting, keep serving, keep fighting the battles no one sees. Just do not disappear in the process and embrace all of you. Thank you.